Okay, awesome. Just needed one confirmation. Thanks, Tanisha. Okay, perfect. So I'm going to share a little bit about our brand. So who Sugar Lash Pro is, what we have to offer, what we do in the lash industry, and where that can potentially take you. So who is Sugar Lash Pro? So we actually originated in 2013, and Sugar Lash Pro has been dedicated to setting the standard high for excellence in the lash industry. So our goal is to empower everyone to unlock their potential through, of course, innovative artistry, highest quality products, and world-class education. Now, we foster an inclusive and diverse community of professionals by offering courses for all skill levels. So whether you are, a beginner just getting into the industry for the very first time, or if you're an experienced artist, we have courses to cater to all types of level, as well as a wide range of products for all your lash services. And of course, we also have a dedicated team of educators for all of your ongoing support. Now, today, Sugar Lash Pro in 2026, we boast a global presence supported by a network of dedicated educators, over 18,000 students and alumni, and over 160,000 loyal product customers. So our goal is to get you into the lash industry, teach you everything you need to know, and all the services that we have to offer, and be able to stick with us and use our products for your clients or within your school. Now, our mission is, of course, professional growth, offering unique beauty and progressive artistry, and offer gold standard lash artistry and education. Now, some of the photos that you will see here on this slideshow, it is from a campaign that we worked in winter of 2023. We worked really hard on this campaign, and this campaign is called Lashes for All. So all the images that you see today is from our campaign, and it's actually all of our educators that worked on these models. So in 2023, we began to process what's reimagining what Sugar Lash Pro can look like in the future. So we want to showcase that the lash industry is for everyone, not just one specific type of clientele. And we think that this campaign really embraces diversity. Beauty has no boundaries, and every story deserves to be celebrated and seen. Now, beauty isn't confined to just a single definition. So our Lashes for All campaign embraces clients of all different backgrounds, different ages, whether you're female, male, it doesn't matter. Lashes and brows is for everyone. And we're one of the first to offer this type of campaign. So we're really proud, and we want you guys to celebrate this with us. Now, if you didn't already know, lash extensions is a $1.1 billion industry and is expected to nearly double by 2032 due to the beauty industry boom. And we're trying to bring you guys along for the ride. So you might be thinking, why lashes? You're probably in the beauty industry already. And as you know, the industry is constantly evolving, it's growing, new trends, new services are coming out on the market. So why lashes? The reason why I got into lashes in the first place is because of its flexibility. Now, aside from the flexibility, it's a lucrative, gratifying career that offers a wide range of opportunities. And we're going to dive in a little bit deeper about what you can do in the beauty industry, specifically lashes and brows. So what does Sugar Lash Pro offer? Now, our number one focus is education. So we actually offer education for eyelash extensions, lash lifts, and brow lamination. Now, we're going to dig a little bit deeper in case you are new to the industry and maybe you don't know the differences between all the services. I'm going to show you some images and break it down for what the services are. So our eyelash extension services. So we offer classic lash education, volume lash education, and mega volume lash. So as you can see in the photo here on the far left, this is our classic lash course. If you are completely new into the industry, if you are coming on from, a school and maybe you're looking to learn a little bit more about the lash industry, this is the course that you want to start off with. It covers the foundations of everything lashes. So classic lashes, we call it classic lashes because it's classic. It will never go out of style. It's a one-to-one lash application. So what that means is you get one extension for every one natural lash. So if you have a client that comes in and let's just say they don't have very many natural lashes, they only have, let's just say 50 natural lashes. Unfortunately, with the classic lash application, you can only work with what they have. So if they only have 50 natural lashes, you can only get 50 extensions. So you cannot attach an extension where there is no hair. So any bald areas on your eyes that's maybe missing any hair, unfortunately, we can't stick an extension into those areas unless there is a hair present. Now, the next course that we offer is volume lashes. Now, this is a more advanced styling technique. It's your next step up from classic lashes. So volume, exactly like the name says, it gives you more volume, more density, more depth. So it can be anywhere from 2 to 6 extensions per lash. That's why you see on the slide here, it says 2D to 60. What that means is it just represents the number of lashes in a little group. So we call those fans. It's a little bundle, essentially. Volume lashes, you can apply anywhere from 2 to 6 extensions for every one natural lash. So you're building more volume. Now, this is a more advanced styling technique. So you do need to learn how to take classic lashes first, and then you can register for the volume course afterwards. It will make learning the volume technique much easier when you have that experience with classic lashes. Now, the last course that we offer is mega volume lashes. So just like the name says, it's a more elevated volume set. So it's mega volume. So even more than what volume can give you. So this is anything more than 6 extensions per lash. Now, this can be 10 extensions per lash, 15 extensions per lash. I've seen and heard it go up to 20, 25, 30 extensions per lash. That sounds crazy. And how can you safely do that without compromising your client's lash health? So in our mega volume course, we will teach you how to do this correctly. We assess the natural lash health, correct weights and diameters, and how to build these bundles and fans of lashes where it can be light enough and healthy enough to sit on your lash hair. So these are the 3 courses we offer for eyelash extensions: classic, volume, mega volume. And again, you want to be able to take classic first. That's your #1 course to get into the lash industry. And then, of course, you can continue your education with volume and mega volume training. So mega volume, of course, very, very advanced. Now, we also have lash lifts and brow laminations. Lash lifts and brow laminations, very popular lately. So lash lifts is exactly like the name says, it's a lift to our natural lashes. So essentially, it just gives you the look of what an eyelash curler would give you. It would curl your natural lashes, hold it in place for up to 6 to 8 weeks. This is a great alternative for clients that might not want eyelash extensions. They might not want the financial commitments, maybe the maintenance of eyelash extensions, or maybe they can't get eyelash extensions. So, let's just say like they don't have enough natural eyelashes, or maybe they're, more finer, or maybe they don't even need eyelash extensions. So if you naturally have really full, really thick, dense lashes, maybe you don't need extensions. You just need a little bit of a lift. That is what a lash lift is. Lash lifts, very trending, very popular now. I find that anyone who has worn eyelash extensions for a long period of time, usually when you take a break from eyelash extensions, or, take like 6 months away from eyelash extensions, they usually feel a little bit naked because they don't have anything on their eyes. This is where lash lifts would be great for. So it's, gives your lashes a little extra oomph, but still a more low maintenance service. Brow lamination, as you can see in this photo here from the left and the right. So it's a big transition from the before and after. So brow lamination is a lift to our brow hairs. So what it does is it straightens and relaxes the hair so it looks very clean, very sleek, and it typically is brushed a little upwards. That's what creates that more fluffier, fuller looking brow hairs. Now, brow lamination is great for clients that have natural brows. If you don't have any brow hair, or if you're, missing a big chunk of your brows, unfortunately, brow lamination would not be the right service for you because we do need to work with your natural brow hair. So you can see the nice transformation of the before and after here. So her brows definitely look a lot more fuller and fluffier. If you guys have ever used brow gel on your brow hairs, that's the look that it creates. So that like sleek, straight, clean, fuller look. Now, besides our education, Sugar Lash Pro offers professional products, right? So we want it to be kind of your one-stop for everything, your education, products, retail, anything that your client needs, anything that your student needs in the school. We want to be able to carry that so then you can stick with the same line. So these are our professional products. So whether you are a student looking to learn to get into lashes and brows, it's the same products that our professional artists use. So on the left side here, this is our eyelash extensions products. We carry a wide variety of different options, different tweezers, different lashes, thicknesses, all your liquids, cleanser, glue, primer, everything that you need to do a full set from start to finish. We have in student kits as well as for purchase if you are a lash artist already. On the right side, we have our lash lift and brow lamination solutions. Now, the unique thing about our products is the lash lift and brow lamination products is actually a 2-in-1. So you can use the same product for both services. So if you are already doing lash lifts and you aren't yet doing brow lamination, you guys need to get on that brow lamination because the product works for both services. So why not offer them both services in one appointment, right? And I'm going to chat a little bit more later on about how much you can potentially make by offering that additional service in that same appointment time. So increasing your revenue. Now, our product here on the right side is for our lifts. So lash lift and brow lamination, we have all of our solutions, our metal tools, our shields. Our shields for lash lifts come in a variety of sizes. So depending on the curl that you need and want for your clients, we have different options for you to be able to customize for your client. Lastly, we offer retail. So after your service, you want to be able to educate your clients on how to take care of their new investment, right? If they just spent a whole bunch of money on eyelash extensions, on lash lift, brow lamination, let's say they're a regular customer coming back every 4 to 6 weeks, you want to be able to have retail products to make sure that, their services, they're getting the most out of their services, they're lasting as long as they should be, and taking care of the overall health of your lashes and brows. So with Sugar Lash Pro, we offer retail. So if it's eyelash extensions, lash lift, brow lamination, we have products that will help preserve the life of that service and have your clients getting the most out of their appointments. Now, this photo that you see here, it's just one of our most popular items that we have on the market. It's newer-ish. It came out about a year ago, but this is our lash and brow growth serum. So if you guys have been looking on the market for a really good natural alternative to growth of your lashes and brows, this is a great product. We collaborated with our friend who is a celebrity lash artist in the LA area. His name is Shigaru. So this is his Japanese all-natural formula. So it's free of parabens and sulfates, has amino acids, everything that you need to grow your lashes in the healthy way. So the unique thing about this product too is you can use it with eyelash extensions, with or without lash lift, brow lamination. You can use it for both services. I actually use this and I don't wear any eyelash extensions. I get a lash lift every here and there, but I use the serum religiously just to keep my lashes growing long and strong. Okay, so we're gonna jump in to career-focused we're going to talk about who can be a lash artist, where can it take you, what can you do with that career, and how much money you can make. Now, anyone can be a lash artist, essentially. Anyone, if you guys have your mics on, if you guys can please mute it. So who can be a lash artist? So anyone. So anyone can be a lash artist. So anyone really with a passion to learn about the lash industry. So I understand that depending where you're hopping on from, it varies from state to state with your requirements. So just making sure that you meet the requirements, but really anyone with a passion to learn, you can be a lash artist. It doesn't matter your experience level or your age or your background. It's just really, you just need the time and dedication to put into this industry, and anyone can succeed. And I'm going to show you and talk about a little bit more about my background as well and where it took me. So careers in lashes. So becoming a lash artist and your earning potential. So what can you do in the lash industry? So it's funny because most people who get into lashes, it's because they're looking for a part-time alternative. I would say 70% of the people that I've spoken to or have, taken the course, they're like, I'm looking for a side hustle. I'm looking to just make a little bit more money or, work part-time. So most of the time people start off being a part-time lash artist. And ironically, it takes them into full-time because they just grow a love for it. Or maybe they begin to get a lot of clients in, and it's really high in demand now. So you can be a full-time lash artist, part-time lash artist, right? Working in a salon, working from, your own little studio, home base, depending on where you are. You can also be a lash educator. So what I find is a lot of people start off as being a lash artist, and then they graduate and they want to be a lash educator, and then potentially even a salon owner. Now, there's even more beyond the salon as well. So let's just say you don't want to be the service provider behind the chair. Now, if you didn't already know, the lash industry is actually one of the fewest professions that have 80% career satisfaction rates. So what that means is a lot of people are typically satisfied and happy being in this industry. They usually don't switch careers because they're very happy with what they're doing, what they're making, where the opportunities are taking them. So there are a lot of career opportunities that take you beyond the chair if maybe being a service provider is not what you want to do full time. Now, you can be working in the background as e-commerce, supplies distribution, content creation. We have people working for Sugar Lash Pro where, they just love social media. They love to be, they work with online social platforms. So you can do a lot of content creation. We also have people in marketing that they work as a creative director behind the scenes. So not necessarily in the forefront, but they're managing all the behind the scenes in the industry. You can work in marketing, product research and development, right? So as you know, the industry is like with the beauty industry, it's just constantly evolving. New products and trends are coming out into the market. And there's so much more opportunities that can help tap you into growing the demand for eyelash extensions. I'm going to share a little bit about my background, how I got into lashes, and where it's taken me today. Now, a little bit about my background. So I actually have my bachelor's degree in education. So when I first went to school, my goal and my dream was always to be a teacher. So after I finished my schooling, I actually got pregnant and had my firstborn baby. So this was about, 15 years ago. So it's been a while. So at that time, after I had my firstborn, I was like, you know what? I want to find something that it's going to give me the flexibility to be at home and spend more time with my family. So this is where I went to school. I went to beauty school afterwards, and I was in aesthetics. Now, I hated doing facials. I hated doing waxing. That was just not my passion there. My passion was really in nail artistry. So I focused on nails for a period of time, and I was working from my home-based salon. So I had a little space at home where I was taking clients. I got to make my own schedule and, work at my own pace. During this time, this was about 2012. So this is when lashes were still very, very new on the market. I had no idea what lash extensions even was. I remember seeing a post online and it said, looking for an eyelash extension artist at a salon. At that time in 2012, there was no course that you could actually take to become a certified lash artist or any proper training, really. So at that time, I was very curious about the industry. I applied. I got the job, and the only way to become a lash artist, was through apprenticeship. So I actually apprenticed through the owner of the salon for a couple of months, and then began taking clients on the floor. So really, at that time, there was no proper course that I could have taken. It was just really just training from the owner at the time. Let me tell you guys, I hated lashes. I hated lashes. I remember crying from, frustration, stress. It was easy to learn, but once you're on the floor and, working on clients and, having them come back and complain lashes were falling out, lashes not lasting, lashes don't look as good as, the other artists, you naturally feel discouraged. And like human nature, we naturally don't like to do what we're not good at doing, right? So all those constant complaints that I was getting being a new lash artist was really discouraging at the time. And I was like, you know what? This is not for me. I apprenticed for a few months and then I actually tried to quit. So I remember trying to quit, and my boss at the time was like, what is it? What do you need? Do you need better hours? Do you need this and that? She was willing to, work with me to keep me working there. So I was like, oh, you know what? I'm just going to suck it up. Just going to stick it out, work there, make that paycheck. And let me tell you guys, working there, even though I hated it and it stressed me out and I was really frustrated, working there 8 hours a day, 5 days a week, full time, you just naturally get better. You have no other option but to, succeed in what you're doing. So naturally, I went from sucking to getting really good. I was starting to get people that, were requesting to come back to see me, and, people pre-booking, people complimenting your work. That is when I truly began to love it, because I was like, you know what, maybe I am good at this, right? So that's kind of my journey into lashes. I always look back at it now, because I always say, if I did ended up quitting, if my boss had let me quit at that time when I tried, I wouldn't be where I am today with all the opportunities that I have. And I wouldn't be here sharing this webinar with you on where it's taken me. So fast forward, I worked at the salon for quite a number of years. I got promoted as an educator and then director of education, where I got to help, with trainings and building curriculum. And over the last few years, I've worked closely with curriculum development. So just helping build the education program for, the company that I was working with prior to Sugar Lash Pro. I joined Sugar Lash Pro in 2023, so about 2.5 years ago, and I joined as the global education director for Sugar Lash Pro. So I'm the one that, you probably will be in contact with for most education related questions, or if I've come out to your school before, I usually do all the in-person trainings, and I have a team of educators too that also help with the trainings as well. But I'm going to get to share with you a little bit of our team, what we get to do, and where it's taken us. And that could be also for you and your team as well. So if you are currently an educator in one of the schools as well, these are inspiring stories that students love to hear, that, there's opportunities out there rather than just being just a service provider. I also want to note too that I no longer do services all day anymore. So I stepped away from being behind the chair. I really only do services here and there for, friends and family, for testing products, but most of my time is focused on education and curriculum development and travels and trainings. So this is our Sugar Lash Pro education team. So we have Irene, who's actually on the call today. She actually, funny story, she actually was with me when we first started off at the salon together back way back, and we still laugh to this day about the struggles and trials and tribulations of learning how to do lashes, how much we hated it at the time. I think she also cried and shed some tears and tried to quit as well. But Irene now is also with Sugar Lash Pro. So she is our educator in Edmonton. So we're in Canada. We also have Katie, Karina. They are our US educators. So they also have, each one of us have our own background and own story about how it's taken us here today. But they are our Sugar Lash Pro educators. They do all of the trainings too, around the Florida, Texas area, or just anywhere that we need them. So they travel for us, train our programs, and you might see them on these webinars monthly as well, just depending on the month. We have Angela. She is in Asia. So she's actually in Taiwan. She does our trainings as well. And we also have Leah. She is also our Canadian educator. So as you can see, all of our education team, we're from all over different cities around the world. So we have, in Asia, in the US, in Canada, and we're growing, we're evolving. Of course, our goal is to grow the team, grow the company, but these are also opportunities that you and your students can have when they finish their education for lashes as well. So nothing has to be directly remote. Maybe you can work, in your city as a part-time or full-time lash artist on top of, being a hairstylist or esthetician. And then maybe part-time, you might want to travel and do trainings for lashes, right? So these are opportunities that are available for you as well. Even, new graduates of lash programs. It's Sugar Lash Pro is growing. If you guys are ever interested in working for Sugar Lash Pro, make sure you reach out to us too, because we're always looking for educators around the US and around North America. Now, some of the things that we get to do that are fun is travel the world. So we actually do get to travel all over North America. So last year, I actually got to travel to 12 different states over a period of 12 months. So 12 different states, but I've been to multiple cities. So it's definitely a lot of traveling. I love it. Wouldn't change it for anything. What I get to do is I get to travel and share my passion and share my love with classrooms and get them to, learn the art of eyelash extensions and brow laminations. So we get to pursue our passion in the lash industry on a flexible schedule. So the unique thing about this is, we work with a flexible schedule, right? So it doesn't necessarily mean that you can't work your full-time job. All of our educators actually that you just seen in the previous slide, a lot of them are moms now. They have families, they have their full-time careers, they're doing services and working in salons and have their home-based business at home. So they're doing their own business as well. And then this is just kind of their side hustle, their passion. We get to grow with a global lash community. So we get to develop skills and network with like-minded professionals. So exactly like what we're doing now. So for you guys to hop on to this webinar, I really appreciate you all and appreciate your time in joining for this webinar and just learning about what we have to offer and where it can take you. And of course, the fun and culture. So every day is never the same. We embrace teamwork and have a lot of fun while doing what we love. So some of the cool opportunities that we got to do, these are just some photos of what we do at Sugar Lash Pro behind the scenes. And this is just Sugar Lash Pro. If you guys ever work for any other lash company, out there, they're doing the same things as well. So they're also, trainings and travelings and, developing new products and things like that. So the industry is fun and lively, and it's just every day is never the same. So some of the photos that you see here are photos of, our trainings around the world, our photo shoots and video shoots. So if you guys have watched any of our online training videos, those are our educators in the videos, teaching you the arts of eyelash extensions. And this is kind of the behind the scenes of what goes behind the doors when we film these videos for you. I had a really cool opportunity to visit Goop in LA. So Goop is Gwyneth Paltrow's wellness company. So I got to travel out to there, work in their head office for a few days, offering services to all their team. It was a really cool experience. So these are just really cool opportunities and fun events that we get to be a part of just by being in the industry. Now, your earning potential as a lash artist. So, how much can you potentially make as a lash artist annually? Now, keep in mind, this is, of course, just an average, but on the low end is about 67,000 on the low end. And it can be as high as 143,000 or even more, depending on, of course, your schedule, the services that you're doing, the clients that you have. But this is just kind of a nice breakdown and a visual of potentially how much you can make as a lash artist annually. Now, keep in mind, if you guys are doing part-time, full-time, it's going to play a factor in how much you can make, right? But this is a nice breakdown for you guys. Your students, if you guys are in a school, your students love to see this. So you guys can take a photo of it, teach it in your class. But this is a nice projected annual earnings chart. So on the left side here, I have listed the different services that, we offer. So lash lift, typically on average, it's about $80. So you can see here, $80 fee. Now, cost per client is about $6.50. What is the cost per client? Very, very low. But cost per client, I've calculated it for you to kind of give you an approximate cost of your materials. So this takes in factors of how much pumps of cleanser you're using, how many disposables you're using, how much of the solution in each of the product sachets you're using. So it's a nice estimate, but it gives you an idea that your cost per client is about $6.50. So if you're charging $80 for your service, right there, you're profiting about $73 for that 1 hour. So lash lift takes about 45 minutes to 60 minutes to do. So right there, you made about $73. If you were to take 5 clients per week, which is very, very minimal, very part-time, this is a nice breakdown of how much you could make. So $367 per week or $19,000 per year if you're going to calculate it for the annually. 15 clients a week is $1,100 per week and $57,000 per year. Now, keep in mind, this is just one service. This is just lash lift. I'm not even including if they want to add on additional options like tints, boosters. Let's say they want to double the service and get a brow lamination. So brow lamination, as you can see below here, brow lamination is $70 by itself. Brow lamination, you guys, if you guys have done brow laminations, you know that it's very, very quick, especially with our products. Our products, brow lamination, you could do it in 20 minutes. 20 minutes, $70, very, very easy. Your cost per client is $7. So right there, 20 minutes, you can profit about $63, right? This is your breakdown of how much you can make per week doing 5 clients and per week doing 15 clients. Now, the nice thing about these services, lash lift and brow lamination, is typically it goes hand in hand together. So if your client only books in for just the lash lift, ask them, would you like a brow lamination with it today? Because you're using the same solution if you're using Sugar Lash Pro, assuming. If you are using our specific products, it works for both services. So they're already in your bed getting lash lift for 45 minutes. If they can get a brow lamination too in that same time frame, and you're using the same product, so it doesn't really take any more work or more products or anything, you're using the same solutions. Same amount of time, but now you're doubling the costs of your profit. So now it's $80 plus the $70 for brow lamination in the same amount of time. So let's say in 1 hour, right there, you already made $150. 150. That's not even including if you decide to tint. Most people who get eyelash lash lift, they usually want a tint with it, right? So sometimes they want to darken it. They want it, a shade darker with black or brown. That is also an added cost. So right there, on the left side here, you can see lash lift, tint, and boosters. It goes up from $80 to $130 already. So it's an extra $50 just by adding that tint and that booster. And that takes no additional time. If you guys haven't taken our lash lift and brow lamination course yet, and you are interested, take it. We teach you how to use our product. We teach you how to do lash lift, brow lamination, and incorporate a tint as well. All those services all in one appointment, and be able to charge these prices for your services. What's nice too is lash lift and brow lamination. It's not hard. Once you guys take the training, practice for maybe 3 to 5 models, you guys will get it. It's very, very easy, very repetitive, very quick to learn. So if you or your students want to get into the lash industry and right now you know nothing about any of the services, lash lift and brow lamination is a nice start into the lash industry. Once you get comfortable doing lash lifts, brow lamination, start with classic lashes. Ease your way into extensions. Now, in my next slide, so this is my next slide here. So it's the same chart, except now I'm showcasing extensions. Left side here, you see classic full set, $160 on average. Now I say on average because some people might charge a little bit less. Some people might charge even more. I've seen full sets of classic for even $200. So this is just an average pricing. Cost per client, $7, about $7. So right there, 2 hours of application set, which typically is an average timing. 2 hours, you can profit about $153 already right there on that one client. And that's just for classic lashes, right? If you were to offer volume lashes, you can see it here down in the chart, volume lashes is even more expensive. This pricing might sound crazy to you guys. Like you guys are probably like, holy crap, like $250, who's going to pay that? People will pay that. People pay even upwards, $300, $350 for volume and mega volume lashes. If you are able to do this correctly and they're lasting and the quality, people will pay this, trust me. So you can see here, a lot of opportunity to make a lot of money. You can see the breakdown here, 5 clients per week versus 15 clients per week. You can make up to, like, if you look at like up here, classic lashes, 15 clients a week, which is pretty, you know, like I would say maybe like that's considered pretty steady, not full time, but pretty steady. Like let's just say you do like 3 clients per day. You can make almost $120,000 annually. And that's just one service. You're not even including your volume clients yet. You're not even including lash lifts, brow lamination, right? So right there, it's $120,000 annually. If you were to offer volume, if you guys are getting into eyelash extensions and you guys have taken classic, take volume. Trust me, volume is where the money is at. People will pay this. It takes more time, more skill, more expertise. That's why it costs more money, more products too, right? But look at how much you can make, right? So even upwards to $186,000 annually if you do a lot of full volume sets. It does take a little bit more time, but some people love doing volume a lot more than classic lashes. I feel like volume is a little bit more popular than classic lashes just because volume gives us the option to customize the look of our lashes a little bit more. It's more flexible in customizing the look. Classic lashes is kind of like you only have 50 natural lashes. This is the only look that you could get with classic lashes. However, with volume lashes, it's a little bit more expensive, but we can customize it more. We can make them fuller. We can make it less full. We can make it more denser, darker. We can switch things up a little bit more. So that's why it's a little bit more expensive. But it's just a nice breakdown to show you know, your students or whatever, of how much they can potentially make. Now, keep in mind too, lash extensions takes a little bit longer to learn. I mentioned to you for lash lift and brow lamination, practice for 2 to 5 models, and then you're gonna get it. Like it's pretty easy to pick up. Now, extensions will take more time. It's going to take months of consistent practice, right? So if you guys are learning how to do lashes for the very first time right now, trust me, keep up with your practicing. Don't give up, because if if you're not doing quite often and you're, doing one set every 2 weeks, you're not going to pick up those skills and you're not going to get much quicker. You need to practice like multiple times per week, 2 hours a day, and then naturally the speed and the skill will just come. This is what I meant by when I was sharing my personal story about how I hated doing lashes when I first started. It's because I sucked so bad. Like I was so slow, lashes were not lasting, they looked awful, but it only gets better the more you practice, right? Like with everything. So tell your students, tell yourself too, if you guys aren't very comfortable doing eyelash extensions now, trust me, I've been there. Just keep practicing, work on your sisters, your cousins, your friends, even your husbands, your partners, that you can remove it after. So just make sure you get those practice time in. You need to really practice on real eyes as opposed to mannequin head to be able to work with the different types of lash textures. Now, what impacts your income? So of course, where you live, where you work, what services you're offering, your experience and skill level, right? So if you are completely new to lashes, you're not going to be able to charge that $250 for a full set of volume lashes, right? Versus somebody that has been maybe doing lashes for 8 years, they could charge that pricing. So make sure that, when you are first learning how to do it, be patient and be kind to yourself. Make sure you start off a little bit lower, get those clients through your door, build a relationship with them, practice your timing and your skill. And I promise you, in a few months, you'll get better, better, better. It'll improve. And then you can start increasing your prices as your experience, gets deeper. The products you're using, of course, also play a factor in how much you can charge, right? So using high quality products. If you're using Sugar Lash Pro products, trust me, you guys can charge a lot more than if you guys were to use, products from Amazon that is coming from God knows where, right? The type of clientele that you get, service add-ons, and your retail. So we want to retail to our clients, not just for the benefit of, extra income, but we're trying to educate them to take care of their investment, right? Assuming that we're all in the beauty industry here, you know that every time you get your hair colored, right? Sometimes they might recommend you certain shampoos and conditioners that will help your color lasts a little bit longer, or treatments and things like that. It's not for them to just make the money. It's really to take care of your own hair because, you just paid hundreds of dollars for your hair. You want to make sure that you get the most out of the service. Okay, you guys, so that takes us near to the end of our presentation today. So if you guys are curious about, partnering with Sugar Lash Pro for your schools, one of the advantages of Sugar Lash Pro is that we partner with Beauty Changes Lives to offer your students a scholarship. So the student in your school, if you are an educator, your students don't have to be taking a lash program right now. They just have to be enrolled in an accredited school, and they can actually apply for the scholarship. So all the scholarship is it's a video submission that will ask you, like, why do you deserve to win this? What impact it will have on your life and what it will do for you. Really easy application, you guys, and you guys can earn up to $2,500 towards your tuition. So go online. The website is down below, so beautychangeslives.org. If you guys are curious or just want to know the requirements, the website is there. And lastly, this is our QR code. So this is the last slide for our presentation today. So this is our QR code. If you guys have just a quick free minute, please scan the QR code. This just asks for feedback of how you thought today's webinar went, what you want to see in our upcoming webinars. We have our webinars planned out for the next 6 months, all the way until June. But if there's something that you guys want to see and we can easily record it, we would be happy to host a webinar for you. Our education team would be happy to, discuss and go over, show you slides and photos of, maybe to how to achieve certain looks. Our next upcoming webinar is on February 11th with Irene, and she's going to be talking about what she thinks is 2026's lash trends forecast. So what type of looks are here to stay? What type of looks are, maybe just trending for a short period of time? And, what to look for these trends. So hop on. If you guys are wanting to hop on to our next webinar, just log on to our website. You can type in Sugar Lash Pro webinars. Our webinars are posted on our website all until June, so you guys can register for those webinars. It will send you a reminder link, so then you can add it into your calendar. But on the left side is my contact. So my Instagram handle is there, as well as my website. So if you guys have any questions, email me, shoot me a message on Instagram. I'd be happy to answer any of your questions. Just anything about lashes and brows, maybe how to get started or things you're struggling with. I'd be happy to answer anything and help you along the way. Aside from that, we have some time too for Q&A. If anybody has any questions. If not, the webinar will be recorded as well. So everything will be posted online on our YouTube page. So if you or your students or your friends or whoever have happened to miss the webinar, it will be uploaded on there this week. But thank you everyone so much for your time. And I'll give everyone a couple of minutes if you guys have any questions that roll in.
Very thorough, Tammy.
Thanks, Irene. We're excited for your webinar next month.
Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you, you guys. Well, if there's no questions, I will end the webinar. Thank you so much for joining me today. And the webinar will be posted online if you guys need to access it again. Bye, everyone.